Me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to the 2018 NFL Draft Prospects 101 series, your guide to some of the biggest and hottest names of the 2018 NFL Draft. We're talking safeties, and this next safety is a guy with bloodlines and a guy that playing some of his best football in 2017 has seen his draft stock rise to epic proportions to the point where this man may come off the board in the first round, and he showed out at the combine, and you're starting to stack his tape on top of the performance at the combine, and everything's looking up and up for Stanford safety Justin Reid. Let's talk about why this guy is making a push to be one of the top safeties in this draft and why he is going to potentially be a big name come April's draft. Let's start though with his pros. So at 6'1", 204 pounds, measurables comes into play when you're talking about Justin Reid. And this is a guy that I look at, and he to me is in the similar mold and shape and make and mindset really when you look at his play of a JB3, a guy that I see as more of a free safety than a strong safety. Again, not one of these guys looking to muscle you down, take you down hard and physically. I'm just looking to get you down. I'll shoot the cuffs. I get you down any way possible. And I'm looking to be a little bit more finesse, a little bit more behind the scenes. Can I come up and be aggressive and run support? Sure I can, but I'll leave that for the big guys up front if I can. I'm looking to do my work back here in the secondary, making plays on the football and being that last line of defense. So more so than Jessie Bates though, this guy played over the slot a ton. And unlike Jessie Bates, who I felt like wasn't as good in man-to-man coverage, Justin Reid is the direct opposite. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on, but 6'4", 201 for a pure free safety, excellent size. Speed, to me, he's the most athletically gifted of those pure free safeties. If you're talking Jessie Bates or Justin Reid, when you look into that group of guys that you look at as pure free safeties, he's the most athletically gifted. He's the fastest safety probably in this draft, but Troy Apke out of Penn State may have something to say about that. He ran a sub 4.4, but at 4.4 flat, that is amazing. And when you're talking safety, and again, this guy has the ability to play over the slot. So more along the lines of a slot corner / free safety type, but in any event, great speed there. So you know the athleticism and the acceleration off the charts, agility and change of direction. I think that's where he shines, is the speed department, agility, change of direction, and acceleration. That's why I love him so much in man-to-man coverage, and I want to see him be more aggressive because I love him getting in the face of a receiver, challenging them at the line of scrimmage. For me, Minkah Fitzpatrick gives off too many free releases. He didn't put his hands on guys. Even when he gets up close in man-to-man, he doesn't put his hands. He gives everybody free releases, and that's how he gets broken off and guys are able to get inside on him so often. With Justin Reid, he's aggressive at the line of scrimmage. He's putting hands on you. He's in your face. And if you run by him, if you get the jump on him off the line of scrimmage, he's just running a 4.4 flat. He's just got acceleration to make up this speed in the ground that he missed at the line of scrimmage to get back into the play. He's just going to be right in your hip pocket. You're not leaving him. So I love that about him. And I watched him make plays as a corner over the slot in situations where he's pressing guys and making the quarterback turn that initial option down because he's right there. I watched him against USC in zone coverage, look, locate, and contest the football that he picked off against Sam Darnold. I watched him make plays on the football that you say to yourself, that's impressive, dude. And so he does a lot of things really well that I like. And so there's a lot with Justin Reid that comes with his package that I think teams are salivating over, and I think that's part of the reason you're seeing this guy move up draft boards. Ball skills, 6 career INTs. The guy played, like I said, his best football in 2017, which I think a lot of people like that idea of a guy making plays, making tackles, making plays on the football in his final year. It's starting to sink in. He's starting to get it, and he's getting it at the right time. tackling and willingness to tackle. This guy had 99 tackles this past season. Again, when you're talking about damn near 100 tackles at the safety position and you're picking off passes and you're doing all of these things, it lends itself to you being a guy that's going to be looked at and sought after in the upcoming year's draft. So this is a guy that, no, he's not a bruiser. He's not a physically built tackler. He's not overly aggressive. He's not looking to open up a can of whoop ass on anybody. But what he is looking to do is just get you on the ground. And again, he's looking to shoot the cuffs, looking to wrap and get you down on the ground. And again, I care less how you get a guy on the ground, just get him on the ground. And he does that. So I have no problems with that. Man coverage, I talked about that earlier, but just to reiterate, this guy, I think, has the ability to be one of the better coverage safeties in this entire draft. And with that speed and that makeup ability, he's not afraid to get in your face. He trusts his speed, and you see the lack of trust with some of these guys, like a Jesse Bates. I think he doesn't trust his speed in man-to-man coverage, so he's not as aggressive as he is in zone, where he's off and he can key quarterbacks' eyes. Justin Reid is not afraid of anybody. F your speed, man. I'm running 4-4 flat over here, man. F your speed, bruh. I'm gonna get in your face, delete the airspace. Let's do this thing, man. What you gonna do? And so he's not afraid to mix it up in man-to-man, and I like it. Matter of fact, check that. I love it. Want more of it. So love his man skills. Field coverage and range. I just told you the man runs a 4-4 flat. Okay, so if he's doing what he's supposed to do, if he's anticipating, and even when he doesn't anticipate, he's still got the ability as a single half free safety to make up some ground. So again, I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. The guy can cover the field. He's got range. If you're running a 4-4 flat, you know the guy can cover plenty of grass on the football field. Toughness and durability, played in every single eligible collegiate game over the last 3 years. So that's not a question of, and you know, you get nicks and you step on a football field, you're going to get nicks and bruises. All right, you may not have some catastrophic injury that's easy to tell, that's going to keep you up from playing, but you got nicks and bruises just like everybody else. And for him to play in every single game, yeah, he was hurting at some point. He had to be. Still put it on, still strapped up the helmet, put the pads on, laced up the cleats, and went out and performed. So gotta love that about Justin Reid as well, as we go from his pros to some of his cons. So I talked about him having range, anticipation, and awareness. Well, I omitted that because he's not as good at that. And that's why I don't love him in zone coverage, which is the next con. So I'll just put the two together. He's not as aware and doesn't anticipate as well in zone coverage as I would like him to. And again, this kind of reminds me a little bit of Derwin James, where I talked about him not necessarily trusting his eyes all the time and getting to the football. He's not as confident when he's off in zone coverage as he is in man. When he's over the slot, but he's playing some type of zone and he's 7 to 10 yards off, he's giving up way too much space, too much cushion, allowing guys to catch it underneath, get easy completions. He's not reacting to what he sees fast enough. Even as a single high safety, I don't think he gets to the ball as quickly as he should running a 4-4 flat. That's where the anticipation needs to come into play. His awareness, I don't love him getting into his run fits, coming downhill from 25 yards away from the line of scrimmage. Too often, I'm seeing him go to the wrong hole. Guys are coming out the other side, and he's not where he's supposed to be, and bigger runs are happening. He seems to be out of place all the time in that regard. Just want to see him clean some of those little things up. Those are all technical flaws that can be worked on with more film study. They can say, hey, look, man, why are you taking this angle going to the B gap when the A gap is where you need to be? You should be pursuing to the A gap, all right? Those are little things you can clean up. So I'm not going to kill him for that, but his zone coverage can be better than what it is. Versatility, I don't see him as an in-the-box guy at all. They did blitz him a little bit, which takes me to my last con with him. Blitzing capability. He had 1 career sack. I think he can blitz more. I think he can be more effective as a blitzer if given the opportunity to do so. He didn't get the chance to do it a ton at Stanford, so I don't want to kill him for that. But that's not something that they used him to do often. And because of that, he wasn't in the box a ton. So you don't get the sense that he can be a nickel defender. And really with his body type and the way that he's constructed and even his mindset and the way he approaches the game, I don't think that's what he's going to be at the next level anyway. So the versatility, I think he's a pure free safety with capabilities of dropping over the slot. That's it. You don't get any nickel dime linebacker capabilities. You don't get a quarterback spy or any of that good stuff. You don't get a blitzing guy off the slot. None of that. So right now, he is just a pure free safety with the ability to drop over the slot. So the versatility, not quite what you would get out of a Jesse Bates with some return ability, or with Derwin James, who can do just about everything. Same thing for Minkah Fitzpatrick. The versatility not as good as you would like with Justin Reid, but in any event, everybody can use a free safety. Everybody can use a guy that can drop over the slot. So I think there's some real good value here with Justin Reid, and he may hear his name on day one of the draft, as crazy as that may sound, because we haven't really talked about him throughout this process, but he could hear his name on day one and it wouldn't shock me. He's gonna hear his name on day two if he doesn't hear it in day one. That is for certain. So that's Justin Reid and his draft prospects 101 breakdown. Come back and join me as I've got more breakdowns to come, including another safety before we move and transition to the cornerback position. But keep in mind, if you want to hear the score for Justin Reid in relation to the rest of the safeties that I've had a chance to take a look at, and all of the other players for that matter that I've had a chance to look at going into this draft, check out the website louietnetwork.net for more scores and breakdowns of some of those other players. Remember, we're changing the game over here, period. So come back and join me. Make sure you like this video, you share this video, and you subscribe to the Louie T Network. And check out the podcast, Louie T Network Podcast, as well as the site, louietnetwork.net. I'm your man, Louie T. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.